G'day. So this is what you do if you come into a classroom and you don't have a lesson plan. There's nothing left for you. You've had a look around. There's absolutely nothing in the class that the teacher's left you. This is what I usually do. So what I'll do is I'll grab just a piece of paper, pen, and I'm going to break the page down into 3 sections. So morning, middle, and end. What you've got in each of those sessions are parts where you're not necessarily doing academic or schoolwork. You are doing the packing up part, so packing up after each of those sessions. And generally that takes 15 minutes or up to 15 minutes to happen. Then you've got the brain break activities, which you break up each of those sessions. So in the morning session, you'll do the first roughly 45 minutes to an hour, and then you'll have your brain break. So that's where the kids will either go outside and play a game, or you might do a just dance or go noodle activity. And then the next hour to 45 minutes, depending on how that brain break went, you'll do your second activity. So the first thing I'll always do is, after I've marked the roll and I've got the kids calm down and they know what's happening for the day, they will do literacy. So with literacy, I will do generally, if you can't find their literacy folders where they generally have set things they do each day, if they don't have that in the classroom, then I'll jump straight into the Pobble 365 website. So that's an awesome website that'll get you out of trouble. That's at least 45-minute activity right there. And then, or if you can't do that, then you'll do something like a short story, or tell me about your weekend, tell me what you're going to do on the weekend, the holidays, tell me about your favorite movie, do a movie review, any number of things. So you just come up with a literacy activity. I'm sure you've got plenty in your arsenal. The next thing you'll do is maths. I've found that each class, they have their maths textbooks in the classroom. So I'll just grab their maths textbook and I'll flip through and I'll find at least 3 pages that the kids can do. 3 pages. What I will do is I'll double check another kid's book, check those 3 pages, make sure that one kid hasn't done more than others. So that takes care of the math session. And then with all my classes, I have my fast finishes. So my fast finisher activities, so if the kids have done their literacy and you've checked it, and they've done their maths and you've checked it, they'll go straight on to their fast finishes. I tell the class they don't need to necessarily tell me that they're going to do it, just go and do it. So I've got on a table somewhere in the classroom, I've got the mindfulness colouring in and a word search there, so they can just jump straight to that. Or if they prefer to do silent reading or drawing, I'm quite happy with that. And then you've got your lunch or recess, depending on the school. Once they come back from that lunch or recess, the kids will be generally pretty hyper. So I like to do an activity that will bring them down a little bit. So that's the basics. So silent reading, silent drawing, put on a meditation video on YouTube, any number of things just to get them to calm down after running around outside for half an hour. Then after that, I'll jump straight into an art activity. So the art activity will be something to do with, it could be a how to draw. There's a YouTube channel for how to draw. So you could pick something. It could be seasonal. So if it's Christmas, you could do something based on Christmas, etc. So it'll just be an art activity. Kids love to get creative. So it's generally, you find a piece of paper, scrap paper, and they've got pens, and that's that done. So the next hour will be device time or screen time, depending on the class. So if the kids have devices, you can just say, okay, it's device time. So they'll get their laptops or iPads out. So you could do any number of educational apps. So the kids, if they've got iPads, they'll have their apps on there. Websites are, Mathletics, Prodigy, Literacy Planet. just steer away from cool maths games. The kids will most likely ask you, can they do that? And I always just say no, generally, unless it's a free time activity. After that, you've got your lunch or recess again. And then the last session generally is a shorter one. So at a school I regularly work at, I think it's 45 minutes. And then basically we'll just do sport. So that's that session. So you could do snatch, ball rush, soccer. Students can play on the playground equipment. There's so many basketball. There's so many activities that you could do. So last session, PE, and that's my day. So when you break it down like that, 3 chunks, then they have their pack up perfect and the brain break. And then when they come in after lunch, after the first lunch, you spend about 10-15 minutes calming them down. You know, the amount of actual lessons that you need to organize is much less than you thought originally. And then, that's the day done. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any other tips that you like to do in your classroom, please comment that below. Have a great day. See ya.